Hello and welcome to Abilene, Texas. Matchup between the ACU Wildcats and the Baylor Bears. It's a very beautiful West Texas afternoon. Should be good weather for some softball, and it's going to be the highly favored Baylor Bears coming into this one, playing the ACU Wildcats, who are looking to bounce back after a rough series against the Tarleton Texans.
Yeah, Cohen, this is going to be a big matchup for ACU at home this starting their weekend. Last weekend they came off of a series against Tarleton where they lost 2-1 in a very rough weekend for the Wildcats with high ERAs and struggling from the pitching mound, really missing an ace pitcher. Wildcats standing 10-29 on the season, 4-8 in conference, looking to turn that around here with a potential win today. But for the Baylor Bears, they are now ranked number 19 in D1 softball in the country in NCAA Division I. They have been playing lights out. They have a very strong squad this year. Their head coach, Glenn Moore, in his 23rd season with over 1,000 wins, he accumulated that this season. They're looking to continue a strong season as they sit in that number 2 spot in the Big 12.
Yeah, they're coming in here really tale of two teams. You got Baylor Bear, who's coming on into Abilene today with a 6-game win streak, including most latest being against that of the ranked Louisiana. I believe they were number 21 at the time of that game. So that's what got them in here. That's what got them ranked number 19, and they get there by getting on base. They have a really good on-base percentage. Specifically, it's .389, which puts them at the number 38 spot in the nation, and a really low ERA. That pitching staff is going to be the big point of contention for this Wildcats offense coming into today. If they're going to want to pull off an upset here, they're going to have to get to the starter out the gate.
Yeah, and it's not going to be easy. Baylor is currently on a 6-game winning streak, and with some of their most recent wins versus number 4 ranked Tennessee, with 2 at-home wins against them in Knoxville, that also kind of helped them get to that number 19 spot. And then, as you mentioned, the win versus the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana on Tuesday, and that was an at-home battle where they won that series 2-1. So they've been on fire recently, and it's going to be hard to slow them down, as Baylor, not the most powerful offensive team, but a team that will come out and get some base hits, get on base. They have an outstanding on-base percentage. So it'll be interesting to see how ACU counters that with their pitching staff.
Yeah, and we talked about the pitching staff for Baylor. On the mound for them, on the bump for them today, is going to be a freshman, Riley Crandall. So this is her first year of collegiate softball, and man, she's really made a go of it. She was heavily praised coming out of high school, a lot of accolades on her behalf, and she comes into Baylor, and she's the second best pitcher in that squad, boasting a 2.0 ERA, which is better than any of the ACU pitchers, and over 80 innings pitched, and she's what contributes to that potent pitching staff for the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, and Riley Crandall, 11-4 so far on the season in her young career. She's been playing lights out. Let's see if ACU can get some hits here coming down the stretch and kind of keep them in the game and get some offense moving.
Yeah, so the key is for the Wildcats is going to have to be, when you look at the numbers, surprisingly enough, Baylor doesn't go yard all that often. They're really good at getting runners on base, but they don't clear the bases too much. They only have 16 home runs on the season compared to ACU's 25. So if you're looking at the matchup between these two teams, I think if the Wildcats are going to pull off an upset here today, it's definitely going to be through slugging. It's going to be through power hitting. So look for big names like Sammy Shelander at first base. She's been doing a great job this entire season, boasting a .330 average, and she's one of the higher slugging percentage hitters on this team. So that's what you're going to have to do. I think you're going to have to shock that Baylor pitching squad early with a few powerful hits. It wouldn't hurt to go yard a few times, obviously, and you really get into their psyche early on.
Right, and it's going to come down to ACU's playmakers stepping up. Mercedes Eichelberger with a .312 batting average. It's going to come down to her getting on base and getting some key hits down the stretch to supplement those Shelander bombs. So it'll be interesting to see how they can, if they will, string together a few hits and some innings and survive.
On the dish for the Wildcats today, their ace, Talia Nielsen. She leads the team in innings pitched, and she leads the team in ERA, .486. And you got to think she's got to have one of her better performances of the season to come out of this one with a win.
Yeah, Talia Nielsen like you said, 4.86 ERA. Not the lowest it could be, but not the highest ever. She's having an okay season. She's 6-9 in her win-loss this season with 28 appearances. So it'll be interesting to see. She's let up 138 hits. So she'll really have to step up today for the Wildcats to have a chance at a win.
Coming up to the plate now for the Baylor Bears to lead things off is their center fielder, Mackenzie Wilson. Here's the pitch. And the first pitch is called a strike. The count is 0-1.
Mackenzie Wilson batting .339 on the year and has played 40 games so far, and she has 124 at-bats. So she's been really good at the top of this lineup for the Bears.
The 0-1 pitch is high. That's ball one. We talk about how good these Baylor Bears are at getting on base. Wilson is definitely a part of that. In fact, she's coming into tonight, or this afternoon rather, with a 21-game on-base streak. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be a bit outside, ball two. Not a hitting streak, so she actually only has a 2-game hitting streak, but she gets on base regardless. She can see the strike zone well. She takes her fair amount of walks and gets runners in scoring position. Here's the 2-1. That's swung on, and that's going to be shot into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. So make that 22 games for Mackenzie Wilson as she leads off the day with a hit for the Baylor Bears.
Strong hit there from Mackenzie Wilson. As we take a look at this replay, great job of fielding that and making sure it doesn't get past that center fielder to stop Mackenzie at first base. But that was a great job of getting the hit, getting on first, not getting too greedy of sprinting to second, and taking what ACU gives her.
Up to bat now is number 36, the shortstop. She swings at the first thing she sees. It's going to be shot into right center field. It's going back, and it's going to be gone. So just the second batter of this contest for the Baylor Bears. Amber Tovin goes yard. We talked about how power was going to be a big aspect of this game. Tovin demonstrates why. She gets her Baylor Bears on the board early. It's 2-0.
Amber Tovin wanting to get out to a fast start today. She just lets this one fly. That's a straight nuke off the home plate right there as she gets an RBI, 2 RBIs that is. Gets a home run on the season to add to her stats. What a great way to start today for Baylor.
Up to bat now is the first baseman, Shaylin Govan. Their best hitter, number-wise. She takes the first pitch she sees for a ball.
Govan, .396 batting average on the season. That's high.
It
this
is.
way for when we're this far into the season. .396, you don't see that too often. So let's see if she gets a hit here.
1-0 pitch, called a ball. And yeah, that average is actually down from her career average. She's an SFA product. She's been a Lady Lumberjack for the past 3 seasons, and there her batting average was .412, so it's actually, believe it or not, a down year for the first baseman. Here's the pitch,
Yeah,
and that's going to be called a strike.
Govan kind of having a return to the whack in this game. Let's see if it's really her day. Let's see if she can step up and show ACU why she has a .396 batting average.
2-1 count. She swings at that one. That's going to be driven pop up into center field, but it's going to find some outfield grass. It lands comfortably right there on the ACU logo. Nobody was able to get to it. Closest would have been the center fielder, maybe, Mercedes Eichelberger, but again, nobody was able to get to
There
it.
we go, Govan sprinting or getting that hit, and Eichelberger just couldn't get under it, and that was Lista on the approach trying to get that ball too, but just lands right in that soft little pocket as Govan gets the first.
Baylor Bears doing what they do best, getting on base. No outs for the Wildcats. There's a strike by Nielsen. I think what you saw in that home run at bat, Nielsen, you talk about mistakes made. She fastball a bit too high in the zone. Allowed Tovin to get under it. I think what she's got to do for the rest of this contest, keep it down. You know they're going to get on base, limit it to infield singles, help your defense make a play. That ball is fouled off down the third baseline.
Yeah, you're completely right, Cohen. Not giving these Baylor Bears a chance to go yard. Just keep it low. Make sure that any hit they do get stays on the ground as much as possible and doesn't get out of the field.
That's one stat where these two teams are comparable is fielding percentage. She's got a good defense behind her. Nielsen needs to trust it. But she's looking for the first out of the inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's going to be swung on, punch down the first base line, and that's going to get passed for a single. Runners at first and second now for the Baylor Bears, and they're threatening again with runners in scoring position.
As we take a look at this replay, great hit by Caballos, excuse me, but getting that out to first base, getting past first base and getting on base. What a great start has been for Baylor. 4 at-bats, 4 hits. Great way to start the game for Baylor here in Abilene.
Yeah, and really, this is their character and this is their identity as a team. Maybe what is uncharacteristic for them was that home run, but they'll take it when they can get it, certainly, and that puts runs on the board 2-0 early for the number 16 ranked Baylor Bears coming in playing the Abilene Christian Wildcats. There's going to be a meeting on the mound right now. Abigail Farler, the manager for this Wildcat squad, is out there talking to her ace, Nielsen. Infield is in right now, discussing. Still looking for their first out of this first inning. Again, as you said, 4 batters, 4 hits.
Yeah, it's been a tough start here today for Talia Nielsen. 4 batters, 4 hits, just can't seem to get any momentum.
Up to bat now is Emily Hott, the right fielder for the Baylor Bears. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be called a strike. Just graced the outside corner.
Great start there by Nielsen, getting that, just finding the strike zone right there on the outside to get up in the count early.
Here's the windup and the pitch. 0-1 is taken by Hott. That's going to be a ball. Counts even now at 1.
Close call there by the ump, but good eye, understanding that was just a little bit inside and low and out of the strike zone.
1-1, runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. That's also taken. It's going to be high for a ball 2.
And these are the situations that if you're Talia Nielsen, you can't find yourself in. Being down in the pitch count early, especially against a team as talented as Baylor at getting on base. Let's see if she can battle back.
2-1. That's going to be low, 3-1. Yeah, they take their fair share of walks. We mentioned their batting average. You talk about how they stand NCAA-wise. They're number 48 in the nation, but on-base percentage is where they really are in tune as an offense, number 38 in the nation. Here's the 3-1. That's going to be taken, ball 4. First batter of the game for Baylor not to get a hit, but she gets a walk, and that's going to load the bases for number 22, Anna Watson.
And if you can't get a hit, might as well take a walk. Great job there of using her eyes to get on base. That'll be another Bearcat on base to load the bases.
Hott did not swing it into pitch in that 5-pitch walk. And that's going to be swung on. That's going to be poked into right center field, and that's going to find outfield grass. That's going to be extra bases. It may clear the bases. Hott is actually going to be held up at third. Doesn't clear the bases, but it's a 2-run double. And it's now 4-0 Baylor Bears. Wildcats have yet to record an out.
Great hit here by Hott, getting that all the way in the deep left center quadrant there. As her teammates sprint in home, she gets 2 RBIs on that. What a great way to start this first inning. Up 4-0 now.
Just looking at that replay, and I think you're going to see the same kind of pitch that there was a home run given up on. It looks like it was sort of a rising fastball. Stayed up in the zone for a bit too long, and great job getting out in front of it. Anna Watson did, able to poke it into right center field past the outfielders. Get herself an extra base hit and double their team's lead. And we're going to have a pitching change here, and we're going to go to a break. As it stands right now, it's Baylor Bears coming into Abilene and whooping the Wildcats 4-0. No outs in the top of the first. We joked. It was not a pitching change. The Nielsen is going to remain out there for the Wildcats at the plate now. for the Baylor Bears is number 44, the designated hitter, Josie Bauer. She took the first pitch for a ball.
And this highlights the kind of trust that head coach of the Wildcats, Glenn Moore, has in her pitcher, Talia Nielsen, letting her stay out there and say, hey, look, you're going to have to figure this thing out. I want you to improve. Let's string together some pitches and get some outs.
2-0 is the count now. The windup and the pitch. That's going to be taken for a ball, ball 3. It is worth noting, though, that even though there was no pitching change, there is action in the Wildcats bullpen. Number 20 is warming up, as you see her right there. Bubba Rote. She has a few starts under her belt this season. She started a few games in the Tarleton series. Here's the 3-0. And that's going to be taken for a strike. Bauer thought that she had a 4-pitch walk there, but she's going to remain in the batter's box for at least another pitch.
Bauer really thought she had that ball there, but the blue said otherwise as he called it a strike. And Bauer will now have to stay at bat for a few more pitches.
So after going down to Bauer 3-0, Nielsen's able to claw her way back to a full count, looking for, again, the first out of the top of the first. Runners on second and third. Here's the pitch. That's swung on. That maybe popped up into left center field. There's a play being made on it. Runner's going to go from third, though. That's hot. She's able to trot home with good speed, but for the Wildcats, you'll take it. That's an out.
Let's take a look at this replay. Great hit here, but really good job, really good piece of fielding here by ACU, and Taylor getting that throw all the way down to the catcher, but just Hot was just faster than the throw, and that's going to be another run for the Baylor Bears as they go up 5-0.
Zadie LaValle up to bat for the Baylor Bears. She's the catcher for tonight. Takes the first pitch she sees. They rotate their catchers a decent amount. Tonight's number 99 getting the start. And that was a good throw by the outfielder Olivia Taylor, the Wildcat. She's got a good arm, made it a close play at least at home, but Hot was able to beat it out. Here's LaValle.
And that just attests to the speed of Baylor Bears and how they play offense in this game. They're not trying to get home runs, but when they have a chance to make a play like you just saw, a fly out, then a sprint to home plate, they take advantage.
Popped. Oh, and a play could have been made by the shortstop, but just over the outstretched arms of Logan Gaspar. Playing shortstop there for the Wildcats. Just a little bloop shot from LaValle. We'll take a look at the replay.
Great hit here by LaValle, and just couldn't quite come up with it on that play. Just rare error here from the Wildcats when they're on their defensive side as there's a change.
Pitch and change. It's going to be Bubba Rote coming into the game for Nielsen. Manager isn't coming out. It's just Bubba Rote walking to the mound. And Nielsen's going to take a quick jog into the dugout, so we may have a quick turnover here in terms of pitching changes. Rote was taking a few warm-ups, and she looks like she's going to take a few more on the mound here.
Yeah, really tough start for Talia Nielsen in this first inning.
So 5-0 is your score, and there's going to be a new pitcher into the game for the Wildcats. We're going to get back to the top of the first inning after these short break. There's the Bears' 9-hole hitter. That's Presley Pylon in the batter's box now. So the Baylor Bears about to flip their lineup over after going up 5-0 on the Wildcats. There's a new pitcher in the game for the Wildcats. That's Bubba Rote.
Yeah, Talia Nielsen, who started the game for the Wildcats, just couldn't string together any strikes. And so that led to ACU going down 5-0 to Baylor, and now that forced a pitching change, a rather early pitching change for ACU and the Wildcats. Bubba Route comes in the game.
2-0's the pitch. That's going to be called a strike on the outside edge. So Route, interestingly enough, was playing right field to start this game, so there's going to be a defensive switch there as well as their pitching change. Route's very versatile. She's one of the better hitters, and that ball is going to be fouled down the third baseline. One of the better hitters on this squad, and she's also seen her fair share of innings pitched. We mentioned that she pitched in the Tarleton series, but things did not go her way, and she ended up with a loss there. She's on the mound again against this potent Baylor offense.
Yeah, Presley Pylon with 29, excuse me, with 13 RBIs on the season so far.
There's
so
2-2.
she's been pretty productive, to say the least, for the Bears in this squad.
2-2 pitch was low. Full count now. Pylon looking to add on. And she may, as that's going to get to the second baseman. Chance for a double play, but Pylon's going to beat it out, hustling down the first base line. And a run's going to score for Baylor. Third baseman comes home, makes it a 6-0 game, but ACU again gets an out, and I think they'll gladly take it. Here's a look at the replay.
Yeah, really good job here by second baseman. That is Logan Gaspar, and just getting that out on second and slinging it over to first really quickly, but just not fast enough as Baylor gets on first and gets an out, and gets in for a run.
Mackenzie Wilson charges the pitcher there as they turn their lineup over. Looking to add on to the onslaught. It's 6-0, still top of the first, just 2 outs. Bubba Rout looking to get out of it. The 0-1 pitch is low, that's ball 1. Runner now just on first for the Baylor Bears, Presley Pylon. She's going to get an RBI on that fielder's choice. Here's a 1-1. That's in the middle of the strike zone, but it's going to be fouled back almost into the stands. Mackenzie Wilson. She singled her first time up. Led off the score, and she'd come around to score on that home run. She's down in the count here. 1-2 is the count. There's the pitch. That's up. 2-2 now.
With a 2-2 count, let's see if Bubba Rout can get a good pitch here and get the first strikeout for ACU in this game. Those will be very hard to come by for the Wildcats.
2-2's the count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be swung on back to the second baseman, Lista. She goes to first to make the play, and the Wildcats get out of it. But not before the Baylor Bears can get scoring started. It's 6-0 now here in Abilene. Baylor's favor. We'll be back with the bottom of the first. After a long stint in the dugout, Riley Crandall's finally going to get her chance in the sunshine on the mound for the Baylor Bears. We talked about how potent she is. 2.0 ERA, just the freshman having a great first season in collegiate baseball. Right now she's facing Mercedes Eichelberger. The center fielder for the Wildcats. Her brother, interestingly enough, is a player on the ACU baseball team. She's up to bat here. She took the first pitch for a strike. Here's the 0-1. It's going to be down the middle, strike 2.
Yeah, Eichelberger coming from a baseball, softball family, to say the least. The senior outfielder, the senior center fielder, has been a stud for the Wildcats and a leader for this team in her career here. Let's see if she can lead them to get some runs put together.
Here's the 0-2. That's going to be swung on, popped up. In foul territory. Play will not be made. Number 15, Cindy Collazos, ranging over to the Abilene dugout. Couldn't get there in time. Eichelberger stays alive. 0-2 is the count. Just looking to get on base here for the Wildcats. You don't have to get it all back in 1/2 inning.
Yeah, just get on base and find some momentum on offense. Maybe that'll carry over on the defensive side.
The 0-2 swung on and punched foul down the third baseline. We'll do it again.
Great job by Eichelberger, just staying in it and battling, forcing this young pitcher, Riley Crandall, to throw some pitches here early on to get in a tough battle.
Riley Crandall has her fair share of innings pitched with 80 on the season coming into today. Here's the 0-2. That's going to be low, ball 1. And she's a freshman, and she had her fair share of accolades coming out of high school. including Max Prep's best player in New Mexico in the year 2020 and in 2021. There's the 1-2. That's going to be poked foul down the first baseline.
Yeah, Crandall is somebody that head coach for the Baylor Bears, Glenn Moore, is very excited about to have on the staff, especially as a freshman. She really adds another layer to back up Baylor Bears stud pitcher and to give some relief down the stretch.
There's a 1-2. That's going to be taken for a ball. Ball 2. Counts even.
Great eye there by Eichelberger, just knowing where the ball is and not getting too jumpy at 2 strikes and just watching that one sail in for a ball.
2-2's the count. Eichelberger's worked her way back from being down 0-2. Here's the pitch. That's swung on. That's going to be poked to the third baseman. And she makes the play for the first out of the bottom of the first. Collajos working fast there to get the first out, able to charge the ball. Take a look at the replay.
Let's take a look at this replay. Good job by Collajos swinging it over quickly to first base, making sure that Eichelberger does not have a chance to even make it close. She sprints down the line to try to get safe, but solid start here from Baylor and the defense, and this freshman pitcher. Let's see if they can continue and moving down the stretch as the next batter's up.
Olivia Taylor takes the first ball for a ball. Interestingly enough, it looks like their pitcher, Riley Crandall, she's got an armband on, so maybe putting in a new sign system between her and the catcher, or maybe they've done this all season. There's the 1-0. That's going to be swung on, punched to the right field line, and that's going to almost be gone, but it's off the top of the wall. Olivia Taylor gets extra base hit nonetheless as she slides into second for the first hit for the Wildcats.
Here we go. Let's take a look at this replay. Olivia Taylor hits a bomb out to right field, and it just bounces off the net and back into play there. Kind of got robbed by a home run, but great awareness by Baylor of not giving up on it, getting that ball and slowing down ACU, but a great start there for the Wildcats on offense and a much-needed breath of life, as you will.
Yeah, you've got to think a few more inches of carry underneath that one, and it would have been gone. That was it. Literally, maybe bounced right off top of the wall. Definitely hit the yellow.
Yeah, you never want to blame it on the wind, but in this case, it probably could have been the wind on that one as the difference.
Even on a relatively calm day as today, with a close shot like that, it could have been. This is Sammy Sheelander up to bat now for the Wildcats. She boasts one of the higher slugging percentages on this squad. The first baseman, true freshman. She's coming in her first season of collegiate softball. She's impressed. 330 average. We mentioned her slugging percentage. That's 560. Looking to clear the bases here is Sheelander. Takes the 1-1 down. That's going to be ball 2.
And Sheelander, this is another freshman that ACU's coaching staff is very excited to have. She's a big freshman, really much, and is filling in a much-needed position at that first base spot. She's going to be very crucial going down the stretch in her career for ACU softball.
And she puts a big hack into that one, but fouls it off. Back into the stands. Yeah, well, if you notice, most catcher and pitcher combos, they usually give the signs to each other by a series of hand signals, but Baylor, they've got an armband system they're employing. I don't know if this is specific for the pitcher or if this is something the program does, but it's interesting to look, interesting to watch. Sheelander, here's the 2-2. She's going to foul that down the first. Oh, it's a fair ball, but she's not going to be able to beat out the throw to first. Olivia Taylor, however, will get to third, so Sheelander advances the runner. 2 outs now for the Wildcats.
Let's take a look at this. This ball from Sheelander started what seemed to be right on that foul line, straight down the third, and was treated almost like a sack bunt as she gets out, but Olivia Taylor gets a third and now in scoring position. So let's see if ACU can convert.
It's a ball she definitely wished she could have had back, just got above it, dribbled it down to the third baseman. Up to bat now for the Wildcats is Emma Rote. She was the right fielder coming into today's contest, but now she is the pitcher. But we mentioned she gets it done on both ends, offense and defense. She's got impressive numbers. She's up to bat now, looking to drive a run home. Here's the 0-1. She takes that one. That's strike 2. Signs are being read. 0-2's the count. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be swung on and punched foul.
That one came right back to our press box there.
Yep.
Making sure we're awake on this
right.
Thursday afternoon. But Rout came in to relieve Talia Nielsen earlier, and now she's up to bat. She's really been doing everything in this one.
A lot on her shoulders for sure. We'll do 0-2 over again. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be taken. Ball 1 high. It's a good pitch. Just a bit high, though, says the blue.
Yeah, really good confidence there by Rote to know what a ball is and to not swing on that one. That one was close for sure.
1-2 is the count. There's the pitch. She's going to swing at that one, bounce it up to the shortstop, who will not be able to make a play. So Bubba Rote is going to get to second. Now, check that. Get to third. That ball's going to dribble all the way back. She may go home. We could have an inside the Parker, and we do! Bubba Rote rounds the bases on what surely would have been a single had it been played correctly, but she's going to have herself a 2-run inside the park home run. Not too bad for a pitcher.
Wow, what a play here. Rote just hits that one. The error by Baylor. She keeps running all the way around the bases, does not stop, and keeps going. Says, you know what, I'm going to screw third. I'm taking it to home. Why not? And she inches closer to Baylor, closing the gap to 4 runs. What a play.
So it's still a blowout, but at least the Wildcats are on the board now. 6-2 is the score. So they're chipping away at that Baylor Bear lead. So if they turn things around pitching-wise, we could have ourselves a contest. And you go back, you look at that play, you could say what you want about 36, the shortstop, Amber Tovin, not making the play, but just as much blame on the center fielder, Mackenzie Wilson. Again, they kind of shot themselves in the foot, hit the ball away from Mackenzie Wilson, and that's what allowed it to get all the way back to the backfield wall, allowing Rote to come around and score.
Yeah, and that ball kind of took an awkward hop off that second base bag, and which made it very difficult to field, and that just kind of played into the advantage of Route as she just kept running, and a little bit of confusion was sparked, and next thing you know, ACU has 2 runs on the board.
Avery Mylock is batting now. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. She swings at that one. She's going to punch it into right center field, and that's going to get down for a hit. Extra base hit. She's rounding first. She may make it into second. And with a slide, she does. Back-to-back extra base hits for the Wildcats, and suddenly against this team that touts itself on its pitching, the Wildcats are starting to chip away.
Yeah, really good job here. Some momentum sparked for ACU and the Wildcats. Mylock gets a little double there on that one. She puts herself in scoring position, and now ACU with 2 outs on the inning, putting themselves in a great position to at least stay in this game in the first inning.
So with Sammy Sheelander DHing, it's actually Katrin Hoffman who's at first base today, and she's in the batter's box now. Lefty's looking to drive in more runs now with yet another runner in scoring position for the Wildcats.
Katrin Hoffman, the sophomore second baseman. She has really done a great job in her position here at bat, as she has a .321 batting average on 78 at bat, so she's been pretty efficient here for the Wildcats on offense.
The 0-1 pitch is called a strike. It's 0-2 now. We've seen Wildcats hit her in the hole before. It's up to Hoffman to get out of it like her teammates did. Here's the 0-2. The pitch is taken. Ball 1.
And this is something that the Baylor Bears and starting pitcher Riley Crandall has struggled with, getting up in the count and just not being able to put away these Wildcat batters. So let's see if she can get mentally locked in
1 and
and
2.
put them away.
She swings at that one. That's going to be a pop-up. Will it get down? It will not. So the Baylor Bears in the rally, but not before the Wildcats can tack on 2, chipping into that Baylor lead. We're through run. The score is 6-2. Stay tuned for the top of the second. So after getting her team on the board first, Bubba Rote is going to be on the mound for the Wildcats, looking to prevent any further Baylor Bears scoring. But that's going to be difficult with the shortstop on the plate, number 36, Amber Tovin, homered her first time up.
Yeah, Amber Tovin has really been a problem for ACU so far, but at her second at bat, let's see if Rote now.
That first pitch is swung on, but right at the shortstop. Gaspar for the Wildcats. She puts that one away quickly, so a line drive off the bat of Tovin, but perfectly placed for the Wildcats.
If we take a look at this replay, as you remember, Tovin on her home run swung at the first thing she saw, and that was a homer. This one swinging at the first thing again, it's a line drive, but great job there by ACU of stepping in that one and getting that as a flyout.
Good hit nonetheless, just right at a defender.
Great hit, unfortunate spot.
Up to bat now is the first baseman, Shaylon Govan. She singled her first time up. There's the pitch, and that's going to get away to the backstop. 2 balls, no strikes.
And those are the ones that you just simply cannot have if you're ACU and the Wildcats trying to stay in this game. Giving Baylor these high balls that they can, A, either hit off for a homer, or B,
that ball's taken, the 2-0 pitch. It's going to be called strike 1. So far, Bubba Rote's coming to the game. Her first batter, she forced a fielder's choice. And she got out of the inning with a ground out, and she opens up the top of the second with a line out. There's the pitch. 2-1 is called a strike. She evens up the count, 2-2 to Baylor's best hitter.
Great concentration there as she sneaks that one on the inside. Great pitch to even up the count.
2-2, here's the pitch. That's swung on. That's going to be punched into right field, but foul.
Hey, keep working. Here we go.
You mentioned this is Tovin. Welcome back to the WAC. She was at SFA her first 3 years of collegiate softball where she tore it up. Now she's tearing it up with the Bears. But Route looking to get her out here. That ball's high, 3-2.
Route, the red shirt freshman for the Wildcats, sat out last season, but is played pretty well this season and kind of been the Wildcats' utility player. Has played in the outfield, has pitched some, and has been proficient hitting.
Full count, here's the pitch. That's gonna be high. She walks her. But yeah, talking about Rhoda as a utility player, that's definitely how you could describe her, and she demonstrated her athleticism her last time up, but she walks Govan there.
That ball clearly just high in the zone, just misses. Those are ones that you wish you could have back as a pitcher if you're Rote.
Putting a pinch runner in for Govan are the Baylor Bears. It's going to be number 34, Jensen Vinny, an outfielder freshman. It's her first year. So some speed on the base paths now for Baylor. Now that they have runner on with 1 out. But Rote dealt with traffic in her appearance in the first inning. Was able to get out of it while only allowing a run on that fielder's choice. There's the pitch. That's taken.
That one,
Ball 1.
That one a close one, as I was just a little outside for Rote, as Baylor will go up 0-1, or 1-0, excuse me.
Cindy Collazo is her last time up. She singled. And a runner's going to go there as that pitch is low. Good block, but wasn't able to get up with the throw for the Wildcats. And now a runner in scoring position for the Baylor Bears.
Great awareness by Jensen Vienne of realizing the situation and what happened and just taking off to second before ACU could get their head around.
There's a 2-0 pitch. That's going to be swung on and punched into right center field. That's going to find outfield grass. Runner is held at third. So we're going to have runners at the corners, no runs scored. But there's 2 Baylor Bears on now.
Let's take a look at this replay. Strong hit there by Sydney Callazos, getting that one deep into right field. And getting on to first base, not being greedy, putting her teammates in scoring position as Jensen Vienne now staring down home plate on third.
Emily Hod up to bat. She walked her first time up. Here's the pitch. First time up, she took 5 pitches, didn't swing at any of them, and got herself a free pass to first base. Baylor would love to repeat that effort here. First pitch is a ball. Here's a 1-0. That's going to be offered at. Didn't go around, but it doesn't matter. Was in the zone anyway, says the blue.
Great pitch there by Rote. Getting that one straight down in the strike zone. As now the count is tied up 1-1.
You said it, 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's swung on. That's going to be fouled back. Right back to Route. And she's fine with it. How about that? She's rolling with the foul ball that she caught back after it bounced off the backstop. Haven't seen that before. One and 2 is the count. Looking for her second out of the inning. Here's the pitch. It's going to be taken for a ball. Runner on first base. Callazos looked like she was threatening to steal there, but opted to stay back.
And this is where, if you're ACU and Bubba Rote, you have to put the pitcher away before it turns to a full count.
2-2. She swings at that one, fouls it down third baseline.
Good job. Win this pitch.
More good job by Wildcat pitching, making Rote's hot second time to the batter box a bit more challenging than her first time. She's taken a few tough pitches. Rote's offered a few good pitches. Here's a 2-2. That's going to be swung on and punched down left field in foul territory. Nobody's going to be able to have a play on it. Bounces into the bullpen.
Great job there by Maddie Reeling for ACU, sprinting over and trying to make a play on that one. Just too far out of bounds there to have a chance.
Hot staying alive. We're doing the 2-2 over again.
Hey, here we go. Come on, forward.
Third page coach giving signals to his runners. Interesting enough, that's Glenn Moore. So the head manager for the Baylor Bears is third base coach here today. 2-2's the count. Route delivers, and that's going to be a ball outside. Runner steals second, and another runner comes home.
And that is something that just cannot happen if you're trying to stay in this game for ACU. You have a ball, stolen base there on second, and then runner comes home. That's Jensen Vienne coming home for that run as the Baylor Bears go up 7-2.
The throw was just a bit offline from Avery Mylock. Unable to get the runner at second. Still batter at the box now for Baylor. It's number 22, Anna Watson. Anna Watson doubled and scored 2 runs her first time up, almost cleared the bases. She'd love to add on to that total here with a runner in scoring position.
Come on, kid.
2 outs. So Rote does get the strikeout on Hot. She struck out looking, but was unable to get out of the inning with the play at second. Swinging at that pitch is Watson. She fouls it back. 2-1 is the count.
Great job by Watson here, understanding that she's up in the count and just taking a chance at a ball on that one from Rote. That one fouled off, obviously, but let's see if she can get a hit on this one.
So that strikeout of Hot was the first strikeout for Abilene pitching here today. There's a 2-1 pound. That's up and in. Ball 3. Runner on second. Looking to get out of the inning is Rote. Here's the 3-1. That's going to be low and away. Then she's going to walk her on 5 pitches. A little bit of excitement on the base pass. Callallos was threatening to steal third, but Mylock able to keep her in check. And up to bat now for the Baylor Bears is Josie Bauer. Josie Bauer is the only Baylor Bear to have not reached base here today. Presley Pylon doesn't have a hit. She hit into a fielder's choice, but she was able to beat out the throw to first, so she's been on base. Josie Bauer, the lone Bear to have not seen the base pass. However, she does have an RBI. Sac flied her last time up. 0-1 pitch is taken low. Ball at 1. Counts even. Still 2 outs now in the top of the second inning. Route's able to fight her way through a few formidable Bear hitters, but she's allowed a walk, and now runners are on first and second. The Bears are threatening again. 1-1. There's a pitch. That's going to be a strike down the middle.
And this is where Bubba Rote has to step up under pressure and finish this inning, only giving up 1 run.
She has the opportunity to do exactly that. The sign's in from the catcher. She likes what she sees. Here's the 1-2. Swung on. That's going to be golfed into right field, and that's going to get down for a hit. However, it was hit so softly that none of the runners are able to come around and score. So the bases will be loaded, but the score remains the same.
As we take a look at this replay, she kind of hit that one off the ground. As number 44, Josie Bauer, kind of hit that one off the ground and, yeah, just kind of golfed it right into the right field. But without getting an RBI, great job of loading the bases there and putting the next batter up. That's number 99, Zadie LaValle, in a position to get a potential grand slam.
Yeah, but Bauer brought her pitching wedge to today's game. Nice chip shot onto the green. And like you said, LaValle is working with loaded bases.
Yeah, and it is the perfect weather for golf here today in Abilene. So
it is a very nice day. This is a great day for softball. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit, but not too fast, not like we're accustomed to here in West Texas. The 0-1 pitch is low, ball 1. Great day for a comeback for the Wildcats, I'd say that much.
Yeah, and give credit to the ACU Wildcats in their first inning offensively. They did a great job of staying in the game, putting up 2 runs. So let's see if they can get a few stops here to keep them in the game.
LaValle, the catcher, looking to drive something home. Not on that pitch. That ball's low. 2-1 is the count.
And this just shows the discipline of the Baylor Bears, not swinging at absolutely everything, knowing when to swing, knowing when to not swing, and it shows on the scoreboard.
It really does. We keep mentioning it, but this is a great on-base team. Here's the 2-1. That's swung on. It was low in the zone, but LaValle offered. We were just talking about how great they see the ball. LaValle misses badly there.
And just as I mentioned, them having really good eyes, LaValle takes one low in the zone.
She
and
blinked.
Yeah, not a very uncharacteristic miss swing there.
2-2. That's low, full count. I wonder how often does the head manager go out there and perform third base coach duties? That's very interesting to me because that's the head manager, Glenn Moore, is out there instructing his runners. I guess with how much they get on base, it's the easiest way to talk to his players. Either way, Route has a chance to get out of it. Here's the 3-2. The pitch. That's going to be swung on, popped into left center field. Is there a play on it? Yes, there is. So Route gets out of the inning with only giving up 1 run. It's still 7-2 Baylor Bear advantage, but they keep it manageable here in Abilene. We'll be back for the bottom of the second. There's Riley Crandall and the gang. coming back out for their second inning of work after allowing 2 runs to the Wildcats their first time out on defense. Looking to add on to that number is Miranda Lista, the second baseman, number 2 for the Wildcats in the batter's box. There's a windup and the pitch. Not going to be off bat. That's ball 1.
Crandall, last inning, was pretty solid, gave up 2 runs, but both of them you could argue weren't really her fault. She's been pretty solid here in this one so far.
Definitely got a little bit unlucky on that inside the park home run, but I think it's a better demonstration of the potency of this Abilene athleticism. Abilene's pitcher was able to round the bases all by herself. But again, Lista looking to add on to that. She's coming in with a respectable 266 slash line this season. There's 1-1. That's high. Ball 2.
Yeah, and Riley Crandall, she's in this one so far has a 2.15 ERA, which is pretty on par with her season averages. So pretty solid game here so far for her.
2-1. Looks like it's low, and it is. Ball 3. Lista has worked her way to 3-1 count. Again, runners on base is going to be the name of the game here for the Wildcats. You're not looking to get it all back in 1/2 inning like we said last time. You gradually chip away at that bare lead. Here's 3-1. That's going to be taken for a ball, and that's going to be a walk. So Lista comes out and does her job. Gets on base as the third baseman for Baylor is going to have a few words of motivation for Crandall.
As we take a look at that one, yeah, that pitch just a little low and inside, and a rare misfire there from Riley Crandall, walking a batter. Let's see if she can recover.
Through 80 innings pitched coming into today, Crandall's only issued 42 walks. So that's just about half a walk an inning.
Logan Gaspar taking a hack at that last pitch, trying to get that 1 yard. She goes down in the count, 0-1.
There's the pitch. That's taken low. Ties it up at 1. Gaspar, the shortstop for the Wildcats.
Gaspar batting .234 on the season. See if she can improve those numbers in this one.
There's 1-1. That's swung on, popped up. Will it be playable? Can't see it from our booth. Doesn't look like it. Out of play, went behind us. So Gaspar stays alive. The count's 1-2. No outs in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-2. Wind up and the pitch. That's going to be out and away. Throw is going to be made down to first to keep Lista in check. She's safely back. LaValle was making sure she didn't get ran on, and she didn't. 2-2 now is the count.
Yeah, Lista was cheating over to second a little bit, and LaValle picked up on that, but great job by Lista of diving back to the plate.
2-2. That's going to be fouled down the third baseline. Yeah, that last pitch looked like it was more of a pitch out than anything else. Must have been something in the game plan that told him Lista may steal in a situation like this. Runner on first, bottom of the second, no outs for Crandall. Abilene threatening to add on. Gaspar swings and misses at that one. She's going to get sat down on the 2-2 count pitch. It's the first strikeout for Crandall.
Solid pitch there. Forcing Gaspar to make a decision whether to swing or not, and Gaspar swings and just misses, and that's going to be her first strikeout of the day. So that's one way to get an out for the Baylor Bears.
So far, Crandall's done a really good job of keeping it in the park. She's got a few ground outs to her name. The hardest hit on her, funny enough, even though there was a home run, was that double hit by Olivia Taylor that got her on to second. Emma Roach, she hit that home run, but it was an inside the Parker that if played correctly could have been just a single or maybe just could have been an out.
Yeah, and if you remember, that double looked like it should have been a home run, but just bounced back into play.
It was definitely the best hit of the night for the Wildcats. But other than that, Crandall's kept them relatively in check. She's walked a batter and she's struck out one. Up the plate now is Maddie Reiling, the third baseman. There's a pitch. It's going to be called a strike. Just got the outside edge.
Maddie Reiling, .056 batting average coming into this one today.
Time is called. Looks like a softball rolled out onto the field from one of the dugouts. Gotta tell those girls stop playing catch there. Halts play just a little bit. Yeah, where'd that come from? That came out with some good speed. Someone was chucking it.
Yeah, that one just kind of spawned into play on that one.
There's a 1-0, or 0-1 rather, I think, and that's going to be called for a strike. Check that. That was the 1-0. Counts even at 1.
That ball coming into play, kind of throwing everybody in confusion on this one.
There's a 1-1. That's going to be low as well. Again, LaValle's still occupied with Lista there on first base. She keeps looking over like she's going to steal.
Great job by Lista of keeping this pitcher and catcher in check. She keeps creeping over to the second and threatening.
Runners on gives you something to think about, that's for sure. Here's a 2-1. That's going to be up, ball 3.
Great job by Maddie Reiling, battling back into this one as Baylor Bears and the catcher will have a word, as Zadie LaValle will have a word for...
Quick word.
Yeah, very quick word for Riley Crandall before this 3-1 pitch.
After the meeting, play will resume. Maddie Reiling still looking to get the Wildcats a few more runs if she can. At the very least, get more runners on. 7-2. Baylor Bears are leading it in the bottom of the second. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing that one, fouls it down the third base line.
Close to a full count now for Riley Crandall as it's 2-2.
They're definitely making her work for it, which is something that you may not have expected coming into this contest. Riley Crandall has really good numbers on the season. That ball's up, full count.
Yeah, and ACU, when they're at bat, they're a very powerful team. Like you mentioned earlier, 29 home runs on the season. And whenever they swing, they swing. And they can get some very powerful hits, and that's hard for pitchers to go against sometimes, especially in softball.
They are very formidable. Here's Riley Crandall, full count, delivery, and that's going to be a walk. Runners on first and second now, both by virtue of the free pass. So 1 out now, and the lineup's going to flip over for the Wildcats.
Well, there you go. But if you can't get on base through a hit, get on base through a ball. I've been saying that all day so far. Great job there of just taking what Baylor will give you as the bases move. And Ryling gets on first. Lista gets on second. And now the ACU Wildcats in a little bit of a scoring position at flipping their lineup over. Eichelberger up to bat. See if they can convert.
Eichelberger at bat now. For the Wildcats, last time up she grounded out to the third baseman. And there's going to be a pitching change for the Baylor Bears. So after 2 walks, getting runners on first and second, Baylor's going to opt for a new pitcher. In the game now for Baylor is number 7, and the game The game is still 7-2. We're going to be right back with the rest of the bottom half of the second. New pitcher on the mound for the Baylor Bears is Casey West. She's kind of a dual threat. She's played a few games at third base. In fact, she started 21 games at third base for the Baylor Bears this season. But she also has very respectable numbers on the mound as well.
Yeah, Casey West with a 2.4 ERA. So keeping it low and keeping some proficiency on the mound.
That pitch is low and away, ball one, counts even at one. There's a throw down to the second baseman. LaValle really doesn't like the fact that Lista is on base. She's thrown down to her a few times now.
Yeah, Alyssa's really kept LaValle in check here this entire inning. Great job by her.
She got a bit far off second base bag that time as Eichelberger fouls that one off. Eichelberger's first time up, she grounded out to the third baseman, but she's facing a new pitcher this time around. And usually how it goes is batters tend to see the pitcher, see their stuff a little better the second time around in the order, and then the third time around is when it really gets ugly. So maybe a Baylor Bears trying to prevent that. There's a 1-2, and that's going to be bowled into the strike zone.
Eichelberger just leaving that one for the worms there, as that one just rolls into LaValle's glove.
It's a bit low.
Kind of an off pitch there. They're still trying to get into the swing of things and warm up as it's a new pitcher.
Evens the count up at 2-2. And she swings at that one. Eichelberger's going to poke that into left field, and that blooper's going to get down, and it's going to load the bases. Lista wasn't able to score there. Kind of unsure, as I think we all were, what was going to happen. Was that ball going to get played by the left fielder? Ended up not being an out. Ended up being a bloop hit single, so it loads the bases, but nobody scores for the Wildcats.
And an opportunity now here off the Eichelberger single to maybe get some runs in as the bases are loaded. A grand slam, definitely a possibility as ACU's at the top of their lineup.
Especially with this hitter in the box now, Olivia Taylor. She almost went yard her last time up with a double that was about 6 inches away, but she's going to ground to third this time. Oh, no, she's not. That's going to get under the third baseman's legs. There's going to be maybe 2 runs score, and there will be. So the Wildcats, every time they've been up on offense, has made this a bit more of a competitive game. They put up 2 in the first and then put up 2 now in the bottom of the second. And take a look at the replay.
Great job here by Olivia Taylor getting a hit and a little bit of an error inside the diamond. But great job of running, not giving up on the play, getting 2 runs. And now, 3-run game here for the Wildcats as they continue to inch closer and cut into this lead.
Got to be one of the worst feelings in the world for the third baseman, Callazos. She had that lined up, just took a weird bounce off the turf here and got under her legs. It's going to bring Sammy Sheelander, the designated hitter, to the plate.
Great eye there by Sheelander, taking the ball.
And I don't know if this may play into factor at all, but I don't know what the infield looks like in Waco, but it is a turf infield here. So not dirt. Obviously, the ball is going to play differently off of those substances. And if you're practicing on one, obviously you're going to be conditioned for a certain way the ball bounces. But it did not go Collazos' way there.
And LaValle continuing to check these runners on their bases.
Looking to steal an out for her pitcher.
Just trying to make it as easy as possible to get out of this inning.
Sheelander waves and comes up empty there. Runners on second and third, so 2 runners in scoring position, but more importantly, you can't hit into a double play here. So that kind of unrestricts Sheelander in a way. Anything that looks tantalizing, she's going to go after, especially with her power. 2-1 pitch, here's the windup, and she's going to poke that one to the shortstop. Shortstop's going to go home, and she's going to miss. LaValle got away from her. And now stuck in a rundown, almost got stuck in a rundown was Olivia Taylor, but she's able to beat that out. So what should have been an easy out either to first or to home ends up being a run scored for the Wildcats and still 1 out for the Baylor Bears with still runners on third and second.
Crazy play there. Should have been an easy out like you said, Conan, as we take a look at this replay. Just a little booch hit inside the diamond. Should have been an out. Swings it over to LaValle. LaValle drops the ball. And that's going to be a scored run.
And even right there, they have Olivia Taylor in the rundown, but LaValle was hesitant. She was almost halfway to first base, LaValle was, when she was, I guess, preoccupied with Shelander going to second. But Olivia Taylor really played that well and allowed Shelander to go to second.
And that's the second time in a row we've seen Baylor have an error inside the field, on the infield, and it cost them a run.
I'd argue it's the third time. I'd argue that by the virtue of the inside the park home run, that may not have been scored as an error, and it wasn't. It's still a home run for Bubba Rout. However, I would argue that that's a play that Baylor thinks that they should have made. Obviously, Collazos will tell you that that's a play she should have made on the out before, and that right there would have been should have been an out at home for Baylor, but by virtue of poor defensive play, they've allowed the Wildcats to claw their way back into this one. It's 7-5 game.
And give credit to ACU for profiting off these mistakes from Baylor and converting.
Yeah, that's true. Big saying in baseball, and probably in softball too, is you can make all the mistakes you want, but it's still up to you to capitalize on them.
Right, and great job by ACU of taking what Baylor's giving them, and it's kept them in this game so far. So let's see if they can continue to do that.
And there's going to be a hit to left field, but it's going to be played well by the left fielder. Deep enough to score a run, though. That's Olivia Taylor trotting home. And all of a sudden, after going down 6-0 in the top of the first inning, the Wildcats have made this a game. It's 7-6 after putting up a 4 spot in the bottom of the second, and the Bears still aren't out of it.
As we take a look at this replay, great hit here out to left field, and great play by the left fielder for the Baylor Bears. That is, Anna Watson, great play, but Olivia Taylor able to just trot in for a score.
Avery Mylock just sent that foul ball to the moon. That looked crazy good off the bat. Made me jump a little bit.
Yeah, from the press box, that one looked like it was about to be a home run to put ACU in the lead, but that one fouled out.
She can do that. She's got 11 of them on the year. And we talk about Sammy Shelander's slugging percentage. How about Avery Mylock? She's 6.61. Here's the 0-1. Takes that one, ball one.
Great eye there by Mylock.
So, yeah, as you look at the scorecard, Bears wildly outpacing the Wildcats in terms of hits, 8-4. But where it's come back to bite them is the errors. They've got 2 of them. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. She wanted every bit of that one and got none of it.
Mylock looked like she hesitated on that one.
Bit late.
She thought it was going to go low, but kind of caught the bottom of that strike zone at the end, and she realized it just a half a second too late. That'll be 2 strikes.
Mylock doubled her first time up. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be far outside. Again, looks like a sort of a pitch-out maneuver, but you can't really tell.
And a pinch hitter in on
pinch
second
runner.
Pinch runner. Thank you, Cohen. On second base for Shelander, it looks like.
It's McKinley Clark, sophomore, on second. Counts 2-2. Here's the pitch. That's offered at, but she didn't go around. That's ball 3. Full count now for Mylock.
Ball 3, and that's a full count.
Home run gives them the lead here. And she's been known to go yard here before, as Wildcat fans are surely accustomed.
Can Casey West step up here and make a play? The full count.
She's going to drive that to the shortstop. Routine play it should be, and it is. She's going to go to first, but not before the Wildcats can bounce back and make this a 1-run game. After the second inning, it's 7-6, still a Baylor lead, but stay tuned for the Baylor Bears response.
ACU fans, your baseball team will host Grand Canyon University for Residence Hall Night starting April 14th at 6:05 p.m. Well, press.
Bubba Rote is still on the mound for the Wildcats, and funny enough, she accounts for the only 2 earned runs that are going to go against Baylor Bear pitching with her inside the park home run. Abilene Wildcats, they've put up 6, 4 of which were unearned thanks to 2 errors by the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, and very uncharacteristic errors there, both on the infield by Baylor, as that one will be called a strike.
Good frame job by Mylock, was able to convince the blue there as it was a bit low. Presley Pylon is the Baylor batter in the box now. She has an RBI, but not a hit. She hit into a fielder's choice her first time up. This was the first batter that Bubba Rote faced in her outing here today. So she's made it through the order.
That pitch was a bit inside for Rote.
2-1 now is the count.
As she goes down, see if she can battle back here.
Here's the pitch. It's going to be high, ball 3.
Come on, kid. Here we go.
Yeah, like we mentioned, that inside the park home run, those are the only 2 earned runs that's going to show up on Baylor Bears scorecards. But credit to this Abilene offense still. A lot of those errors were forced by good base running. There's a 3-1 pitch. That's going to be swung on and missed. Full count. Good base running and a lot of untimely decisions made by the Baylor infield has led to a 1-run game here in the top of the 3rd.
Untimely decisions, unfortunate bounces, anything that can go wrong in the outfield and infield has.
Pylon bloops it to the shortstop Gaspar, and she's able to make a play on it, make it look easy. It's 1 out away for now for Rote.
Great job there by Rote, not letting this one get too far off the bat and giving her fielders a chance to play on that as Gaspar gets the fly out.
Baylor turns the lineup over. It's Mackenzie Wilson, the center fielder, up to bat. Here's the pitch. That's inside. Oh, no, it catches the strike zone. Strike 1.
That was a close call there by the blue. Barely catching the strike zone if it did.
Bubba Rote's done a real good job this game of locating her pitches. Even when she gets down in these counts, she's able to fight her way back and get some of these batters out. As there's a strike call there, 0-2 now's the count.
Great job here by Route getting up early. And now, as the lineup's flipped over for the Bears, Route's got some momentum.
That she does. 1 out, top of the 3rd. 0-2 pitch. That's going to be up and in, ball 1. Mackenzie Wilson, her first time up, singled. Second time up, she grounded out to the shortstop. Second baseman, rather. She's got speed. If she gets on base, she's a threat. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one back. In fact, she leads the team in stolen bases, runs, and hits. And we mentioned that she was on a 21-game hit streak coming into today, so she's extended that one due to her first inning effort. Here's the pitch, 1-2. She's going to poke that into left field, but playable for the outfielder, Olivia Taylor. She puts that one away. So 2 outs now, top of the 3rd for Bubba Route.
As we take another look at this one, great hit there by Mackenzie Wilson, making good contact as the replay just kind of lags a little bit, but makes contact, but great fielding by ACU. Not making an error, just making a play on it, getting a fly out, getting 1 out closer to getting out of this inning.
Yeah, Wilson just got a bit under it. Allowed a little too much air to get under that ball right there. Floated it over to Olivia Taylor for a routine play. Brings number 36, Amber Tovin, to the plate. She homered her first time up, lined out her second time up. So 2 really good at-bats on Tovin's behalf, looking to make it 3 here and looking to get another runner on for the Baylor Bears.
And this is the first time Tovin's been at bat and not made contact on the first pitch pitched to her. So that says a lot about the kind of batter Tovin is for this Bears offense.
2-0. She makes contact on that one right there, sends it to Lista. Lista goes to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Bubba Route. So after an impressive bottom half of the 2nd offensively for the Wildcats, they respond with an equally impressive top half of the 3rd. Score remains the same, 7-6 here in Abilene, Texas. Welcome back to Abilene, Texas, and we have ourselves a ball game. It's 7-6. Still Baylor lead, but again, hey, we're talking about the number 18 ranked Baylor Bears. They're 31-9 on the season against Abilene Christian, who, let's be honest, have struggled a lot coming into this season, especially in the WAC. After making the WAC playoffs last year, they've definitely not had as good as a season. They're 10-29, but they're putting up a great performance here today against Baylor Bears in their home field.
Yeah, ACU has stepped up and really capitalized on some errors from Baylor as they've really stayed into this one, chipped away the lead. They went down early. So great job by the Wildcats of just staying in the game.
There's Katrin Hoffman. She swings at the 1-0 offering, fouls it down to the Bears dugout. Yeah, but how about Bubba Rout? Obviously you don't want to talk about it too early because the game's not over yet, but she comes in 10.83 ERA on the season. She didn't have a particularly good outing against Tarleton, and she's having one of her better outings maybe of her career after that 1-2-3 inning in the top of the third. Hoffman fouls that one back.
Yeah.
And not to mention an inside the park home run. So great all-around game by Bubba Rout. Again, we probably just jinxed it, and she's going to give up 20 runs now because we mentioned it. But
Roat really is having the game of her life. Credit to her for keeping ACU in this one and keeping the momentum on the Wildcat side.
that ball's swung out. That's going to be bounced to the second baseman. Could be a close play, but it's not. Get her by a step, do the Baylor Bears. And that's one away in the bottom of the third.
Good little play there by Presley Pylon as she gets this one and just flips it to the first baseman for Baylor, Govan, as they get their first out as Lisa's up to bat.
Lista walked her last time up. She swings at the first pitch she sees. She's going to poke that into center field, but playable for the center fielder Wilson. Ranges back and puts it away just before the warning track.
Just a little short on that hit. Looked like it could have dropped for Lista, but a great play there by Baylor, and that is Mackenzie Wilson making that play, showing off her speed as she tracks that ball down. And now a quick 2 outs for Baylor defensively.
Gaspar looking to extend the inning. She struck out her first time up, then what turned out to be a fairly lengthy at bat. First pitch there is a ball. But Casey West has had a fairly good game, obviously barring the errors. She's pitching very nicely, which reflects her season numbers. She came into today with a 2.4 ERA, and she still doesn't have any earned runs, despite the 6th spot on the board for the Wildcats. Only 2 of them have been earned. Gaspar now, 1-1 count after she fouls that one to the Abilene dugout. Struck out swinging her last time up. 1-1's the count. There's the pitch. She swings at that one. Foul tip back to the backstop.
2 strikes. Great job of staying in that one, just making contact, finding a way to stay alive, forcing Casey West to keep pitching and to get in a little battle here to get her out.
1-2's the count. 2 outs in the inning. West looking to get out of it. She bowls one in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gaspar eyeing West. 2-2's the count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be inside. Ball 3, full count.
And great job by Gaspar battling back to make it a full count now, as maybe ACU has a little bit of life here in this inning.
I think this is a big at bat here. Even if the 9-hole hitter gets out, because it guarantees at the very least that at the next inning you flip the lineup over and the 1-2-3 hitters get to see West for a second time, and that's exactly what it does. So even if the 9-hole hitter, Maddie Reiling, gets out here, that is a huge walk, I would argue, by Gaspar, the shortstop, simply because it allows the next inning, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters are going to get a second chance to see West.
Yeah, that pitch was just low, and just walked Gaspar to first base.
Reiling takes the first pitch she sees outside, ball 1.
And West, that's 3 balls in a row now that she's pitched. See if she can rein it back in and find that strike zone to put some pressure on these ACU batters.
She's got 3 walks on the day now, one of them to Reiling, but she gets her to ground out to third this time. So 1 walk is allowed, 1 runner is left on base, but the score remains the same. It's still 7-6 Baylor lead. We're through 3 here in Abilene. Bubba Rote still on the mound for the Wildcats. Coming off a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 3rd. Top of the 4th now. She leads it off with a ball.
Rote having a solid game here so far as she pitches to number 34 for the Baylor Bears.
Jensen Vien. So interesting as she pops that one up. It may come back right back to Rote. Nope, the first baseman Hoffman calls her off, makes the play. So interestingly enough, there was a hitting change made there as Shaylin Govan, Baylor Bears' best hitter, is out of the game now for Jensen Vien. Number 34 came in with the pinch hit. She flies out.
And Vien trying to get in the way of Rote there as she tries to get that ball. It seems like smart heads-up play by Vien, but first baseman Hoffman was able to come down with that one.
There were 3 Wildcats there. They had that area fairly well covered. First pitch is low for a ball. Up to bat now, number 15 for the Baylor Bears, Sydney Collazos. She's got 2 singles to her name. Looking to add on here with 1 out in the top of the 4th.
Collazos having a solid game at bat.
1-0, pitch is low, it's 2-0.
But if you remember, Collazos also had a crucial error at third base earlier to allow some ACU runs.
Could rectify it if she gets in scoring position here. 2-0's the pitch. That ball's high. Gets by Mylock and bounces back to the short backstop rather.
It's going right here. Come on, kid. Here we go.
Route now in a 3-0 hole, but we've seen her get down to hitters before and work her way back in this contest. As she gets another hit of the rosin bag, ready for the 3-0 pitch. That's going to find the strike zone, so maybe trying to work her way back into this one. Collazos has yet to offer at any of her pitches. But you got to think she's in swing mode here, 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1, no reason not to swing since you're up in the count.
And she does. She's going to punch that one into right field, but playable for the right fielder. And that's going to be 2 outs away early on for the Wildcats.
That was McKinley Clark making a play on that one in the outfield. Great job of keeping concentration. As you're right, Cohen, Wildcats have 2 outs here and in a good position to get out of this this 3rd inning. Excuse me. Top of the 4th, excuse me.
Emily Hott up to bat now for the Baylor Bears, and she's yet to put anything into play. She walked her first time up and struck out looking her second time up on a play that ended up scoring a run. Runner stole second, runner on third came home for their sole run of the top of the 2nd inning. So far, she's working with a 2-0 count here. 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
Come on, you and Nana right here.
We're out looking for her second 1-2-3 inning in a row. Here's the 2-0. Hott offers it that one, but punches it right at the shortstop Gaspar, so a good hit, but nothing to show for it. That's another 1-2-3 inning for Route, and the score remains the same. 7-6 Baylor Bear lead here in Abilene, Texas.
Wildcat fans, ACU Softball would like to give a special shout out to all.
Lineup flips over for the Wildcats. Eichelberger's in the batter's box, and that's what was so huge about that Gaspar walk. Even though nothing came of it, she got on first, but she had that long walk back to the dugout afterwards. It allowed for the lineup to flip over, and now they're seeing West for their 2nd time through.
Yeah, Eichelberger up to bat now. She's had a pretty solid day. Her last time up got onto first.
And that's going to hit her. A bit too far in for West, and Eichelberger is going to take that like a champ and take the free pass to first base. She gets there the painful way, but nonetheless, runner on.
Great job there by Eichelberger, just kind of taking that one to the elbow as she runs out to first and gets walked out there. And those are the ones that are so painful for a batter, but feel oh so good when you get to first. As ACU now has one runner on.
Yeah, those feel good right now, but you feel them tomorrow. Here's Olivia Taylor. She's going to foul that one to the bullpen. Actually, no, rather, that's going to stay in play. So 1 out now for the Baylor Bears as Olivia Taylor gave that one quite a ride down third baseline, and it was able to stay in play. It looked like it was drifting out to the bullpen.
As we take a look at that, yeah, almost made it to the bullpen, but just kind of stayed in play and died halfway out to there. That's an out.
So Olivia Taylor flies out. That's the first out of the bottom of the fourth. Sammy Sheelander is up now.
Sheelander has had a pretty solid game so far here in this one. She is batting .270 on the season right now.
Looking to get a few more RBIs here. She's got her runner on. Still a one-run game, so she represents the go-ahead run in the batter's box. West delivers. It's outside.
Good eye there by Sheelander, not taking it first.
Again, a few of these look like pitch outs. That one was really far out there. Catcher sets up outside. Testing Eichelberger on first, seeing if she's going to steal a bag. She's got the speed to do so. Here's the 1-0. That's outside, but Sheelander offers at it, punches it foul.
And Sheelander here, she has the ability to get a home run. She has the power for it, and that's what ACU and his coaching staff is looking for out of her in this position. Sheelander on the year has 33 hits and has done a really good job of getting 20 RBIs. So she has the offensive firepower to do so.
The off-speed pitch by West there was high and away. Ball 2. Trying to fool her with the changeup, it looks like. Sheelander steps back in the box. 2-1's the count, the windup and the pitch. That's going to be low and away, but just barely. Sheelander, again, good eye.
3-1 count now for Sheelander, and a lot of freedom to offer at whatever she wants or to watch whatever she wants as she has a little bit of breathing room.
Up a route. Up behind her. There's a pitch. That's outside. She's going to take a free pass. So a hit batter and a walk issued by West is going to put runners on first and second for Bubba Rout, who homered her first time up.
And a tough series there for West, for Casey West and Baylor, as she walks yet another batter for ACU. And that will send Rote up to bat for the Wildcats.
That pitch is outside. So, yeah, West, you mentioned it, but Sheelander, good job of eyeing the zone, getting the walk, working her way to that 5-pitch walk. But a lot of these pitches missing outside, looks like, for West, as a meeting's going to be had. We're going to have Glenn Moore come out on the mound and talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, 2 batters now walked in a row. Not what you want to see if you're Glenn Moore, as he has a word with Casey West and the Baylor infield.
Yeah, if you're Glenn Moore, very disappointing day for him. You're coming into Abilene and playing a lot of your offhanded. Again, they're not their catcher, LaValle. She's started a few games, but she doesn't have the most starts, and they're not playing their ace. And actually hit the starter out of the game and has allowed this Abilene squad, it's a 1-run game here in the bottom of the fourth with Rout up to bat. Here's the 1-0. She looks like she's going around a bunt, opts against it, and that ball's going to get away again. But Eichelberger decides against coming home. LaValle, it looked like she had the throw. It was on line. So take a look at the replay. It was on line. It just gets by the third baseman again and gets into the outfield. Luckily, played well by the left fielder, kept it to third.
It looked like Cohen that Rote wanted to sack bunt there, but she didn't have to, and she still got Eichelberger in position to score. So now she can just hit the ball however she wants.
And better yet, Sammy Sheelander, as she fouls that one back, Sammy Sheelander is on second base now, so the double play is out of question.
Yeah, really rough error there. Another error for these Baylor Bears on the infield.
That's Callazos yet again, the third baseman.
To put ACU in a position to score easily. So very disappointing for Glenn Moore and this Bear squad.
2-1 count, here's the pitch. It's gonna be a ball. Oh, it was a close call by the Blue.
Very close call there, and that's one that Casey West wishes she could have back. That's a very close call, and now ACU knocking on the door of potentially taking the lead or tying.
The go-ahead run is on second base. You got to think if anything gets to the outfield, it's going to put them ahead, but she's going to walk before she gets the chance. Full bases now for Mylock, the power hitter of this Abilene squad, the catcher.
Bases loaded now as Route on first, Sheelander on second, and Eichelberger on third. That's a deadly squad on the bases. Let's see if Mylock can bring some of them home and collect some RBIs.
Mylock has a double, and she's grounded out on the day. Be a great time for one of her hallmark home runs. She takes the first pitch she sees, strike one.
On the season, Mylock has been pretty solid for the Wildcats as she has racked up 11 home runs. So one right here would be ideal for the Wildcats.
Swings at that one, that's strike two. Be a great day for it. It's not very windy. The little wind that there is blowing towards right field.
And Mylock swinging for the fences here, trying to get a bomb or something out of the infield to eliminate a double play opportunity.
0-2 pitch. She swings at that one and misses. On 3 pitches, she sat down on strikes. It's going to be a strikeout for West and 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th.
That brings up Katrin Hoffman, number 32 for the Wildcats, who is batting .321 on the season with 1 home run and 13 RBIs.
Flew out and grounded out her last time's up. She takes the first pitch she sees. That's ball 1.
And Hoffman, left-handed batter. So let's see if that can play any effect into how Casey West pitches to her.
She could pull it here. The few hits that the Wildcats have had, they seem to have been in right field, right center field. Takes ball 2.
And the last thing you want here if you're Casey West and the Baylor Bears is to walk yet another batter, because then that's just a free run to tie up the game.
They may be looking to test the arm of McKinley Clark, or no, rather, right fielder for the Bears, Hot. She fouls that one back. Again, bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. It's a 1-run game. The go-ahead runs on second in form of Sammy Sheelander. Tying runs at third. This will be the first lead of the game if they were able to take it for the Wildcats. 2-1 is the count, and here's the pitch. That's high, ball 3.
3-1 count now. Now all the pressure's on Casey West to get out of this hole she's dug herself.
And you got to put yourself into the mind of Hoffman. You know that a walk will get you home, and that's going to score a run, but also you want some RBIs. You want to put something into the outfield. See what she goes with here on this 3-1 offering. Wind up in the pitch. It's right down the middle, and she does swing at it, but right to the second baseman. Routine ground out, and that's going to end the Wildcat threat. So West loads the bases, but she gets out of it and keeps the score 7-6, Baylor Bear favor. Stay tuned as we're through 4 innings here in Abilene. Bubba Rout still on the mound for the Wildcats. She's facing Anna Watson in the batter's box for the Baylor Bears. The left fielder has doubled and walked. She's yet to not reach base. Rote, 1-0, and that's going to be shot through the gap there and left part of the infield. Right over the outstretched glove of Reiling. That's going to be a single.
Solid hit there by Anna Watson, and now, as we take a look at this replay, just getting under it, and now giving the Baylor Bears a breath of life in the top of this 5th inning offensively, getting some momentum.
Able to fight that off, go opposite field. In the box now, number 44 for the Baylor Bears, and that's 2 hits in a row. Baylor's going to come out, put runners on first and second on the very first couple of pitches they see. Route now in a little bit of trouble with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, just again attacking that shortstop, Reiling, and forcing her to make a play, and that's 2 batters on base for the Bears.
Josie Bauer, that was her second single of the game. Batter in the box now, Zadie LaValle, the catcher, has a single in the first inning. She looks at the first pitch she sees. It's going to be called a ball. As Farler is going to come out of the dugout here, have a word with her pitcher. She's staying in the game. Nobody's warming up in the ACU bullpen. Route's been solid up until this point. Hasn't even really labored all that much. She came into the game, inherited a few runners. She gave up a fielder's choice hit that allowed a runner to come home. But other than that, she put up back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings on this Baylor Bear squad that's number 38 in the nation in on-base percentage and number 48 in the nation in batting average. So she has a great night. Just a few words of encouragement here from Farler, telling her, hey, keep doing what you've been doing.
Maybe just giving Rote a little bit of a break here to kind of collect herself and give her arm a little rest, as it looks like she'll stay on the mound.
But now we've got action in the bullpen. That's Lauren Sheik you see on your screen, number 23. She made a few appearances in that Tarleton series. As of right now, Route, she's facing 8 and 9 hitters for the Baylor Bears, after allowing the 6 and 7 hitters to get on base. It's the 1-0 count. That's going to be swung on to first base, to second, double play. Do they get it? And it does not look like they do. Runner is going to be safe at second, but it's not very often you see the first to second connection, or shortstop rather.
Close play here as we see it gets to first, and that looks like so close to being an out. Close call there by the ump. But yeah, as ACU not liking that call, as we have the 3 Blues meeting together in the middle to discuss what they just saw.
Now this is big here because that puts things, obviously really changes the complexion of this inning and therefore the game. You're going from just a runner on third, 2 outs, to 1 out and a runner on second and third, but the Blues going to confer and they're going to call her safe.
You take a look at this replay, it looks like the foot just barely lands before they get the tag. So
that's a huge call in Baylor's favor. Looked like the right call. So runners on second and third, still only 1 out.
Huge call, but the right call as Pylon is now up to bat for the Bears with runners in scoring position.
Presley Pylon hit the first RBI off of Route back in the first inning on a fielder's choice. She popped out in the third. Yet to record a hit. But you got to think if she does here, it's at least 2 runs. 1-0 pitch is low. That's ball 2. Looking to get a hit, looking to flip the lineup over. They'll be facing Route for the 3rd time here tonight.
To keep this game close, Rote really needs to get ACU out of this inning run free.
That pitch is swung on, punched down the first base side. Lista fumbles it a bit. Run comes home, so the Baylor Bears extend their lead by 1. But that's going to be 2 outs now in the inning for the Wildcats, and I think that's a trade they'll accept in a heartbeat.
Yeah, let up a quick run there, but getting the out, getting closer to.
Yeah, I think maybe if Lista doesn't fumble that, maybe she can go home and prevent the run from scoring. Either way, though, out is good, and that ball's going to be punched into right center field, and there's going to be a made-up play on. Great play by McKinley Clark coming into the game and putting that one away to get them out of the inning by only allowing 1 run for the Baylor Bears. Top of the 5th inning. It's 8-6. Stay tuned for the Wildcats' response. Here's the play that ended the inning. McKinley Clark, Waco, Texas product, so she's playing the Bears out of Waco, and she puts them away there in the top of the 5th. Good play right there, showing her range there in right field. As Lista's up to bat.
And great job of staying with it, speeding up, getting that out. And
oh, Lista's going to send that on a rope down the left field line. That's going to make it all the way to the wall. Lista's rounding first. She's at second with a stand-up double. Man, she put that thing on a wire going down third baseline. It almost hit the back wall without dropping.
As we take a look at that replay, you're right, Cohen. That thing was on a line down that third base foul line and put it away from any of the outfielders as Lista gets to second. And that's one way to start the bottom of this 5th inning for the Wildcats.
Gaspar up to the bat, up to plate now, and she represents the tying run with Lista on second in scoring position. Gives the pitcher West something to think about, gives the catcher LaValle something to think about. Crowding the base paths with no outs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be low, ball 2.
Great job there of almost checking that swing, but not committing, as she saw that it was a little too low, taking that ball 2.
So that represents just the 5th hit on the night for the Wildcats. Compare that to the Baylor Bears 10, but still just a 2-run game here, bottom of the 5th. Gaspar takes that. That's going to be a strike. 2-1 now is the count.
Good strike there by Casey West. Starting to battle back into this one as she brings the count a little closer with that 1 strike.
West working against Gaspar. 2-1 count, the delivery and the pitch. That's going to be inside, ball 3.
Great read there by Gaspar. Knowing where it is, knowing her strike zone. Getting
Just
herself,
barely.
yeah, barely, as that was a close call by the Blue, you're right. As now she's up 3-1 in the count.
There's the kid, and that's inside as well. So a 5-pitch walk. LaValle throws down to second to check if Lista is off the bag, and she's not. She makes her way back.
So now 2 batters faced, 2 runners on for ACU as we take a look at this replay. That one was inside by a good little bit as Gaspar will trot on over to first base, and Lista gets checked on second.
A productive day so far from Gaspar. She has a strikeout, but she's followed that up with 2 walks since. Reiling's up to bat now. She bunts, and the third baseman has a great read on it. She's able to charge it and get the 1 out at third, but the runners at first and second will be safe.
Wow. Great read there by Baylor as we take a look here. Shows bunt, sprints down that third baseline and gets that first out. So great read on that bunt. Shows you how efficient Baylor is at fielding those.
Kiazos has 2 errors on the day, but is able to make a very fine defensive play there, ranging to get the bunt and then turning right back around, getting the quick out. Flips the lineup over, though, for the Wildcats. Eichelberger, the leadoff girl, is back in the batter's box.
And this is a great situation for ACU. They've been in positions to convert big opportunities earlier in this game. They had bases loaded last time up, so let's see if they can convert these opportunities that they have and take a lead.
The 0-1 swung on and punched, but maybe another error. It's going to be a close play, and it's an out. But the runners on first and second advance. They're on second and third now. And ended up a bobble there by the Baylor Bears second baseman. Ended up making that play very close.
Yeah, a little bobble there by Pylon, it looks like, as Eichelberger almost makes it to first, but runners advance on second and third.
Tying runs on second base for Olivia Taylor. She doubled her first time up, almost 1 yard.
Yeah, Olivia Taylor has had some powerful hits today in this game. Let's see if she can convert here and bring some of her girls home.
Anything in the outfield, you got to think that ties the game up. There's the 0-1. She swings at that one and misses.
And now she's down 0-2 in a tough position. She was in this position, if you remember, last inning with 3 runners on base and just 3 strikes struck out and swinging on all of them. See if she can hit one here.
Here's the delivery and the pitch. She swings at that one and she misses. Olivia Taylor sat down on 3 pitches, so the runners advance. They threaten, and nothing comes of it. 2 runners are going to be left on base to round out the 5th inning. It's still 8-6, Baylor lead.
In the bottom of the 5th inning, the Wildcats score.
Route back on the mound for the Wildcats, and she delivers on a charging bunt there. It's not going to be put in play. Number 36 in the batter's box for the Baylor Bears.
That's number 36.
Jensen Vienne
Jensen Vienna.
came into the game again for the first baseman and best hitter on the Bears squad, Shaylin Govan. Unsure as to why, but she's looking to make a name for herself. Coming in, obviously, big cleats to fill. She popped out her last time up. 1-1 pitch, she bunts it, but fouls it. Testing Riling there may make a similar play to the play that was made in the bottom half of the 5th.
Interesting strategy there to bunt on that one. That one fouls out though, so it'll be a 1-2 count for Rote as she's up.
Swings at that foul. It is worth noting though that Shaylin Govan is on deck, so she will be back in this batting order. She just took a break for a quick inning, looks like. She may bat for Cindy Collazos, but we'll see. 1-2 pitch. That's going to be swung on, popped up, but it may fall. It will not. Olivia Taylor, great range. She's able to work her way all the way over into left center field and put it away.
As we take a look at this replay, good hit by Vienne. Just kind of a looping ball to center field, but great run out there by Olivia Taylor for coming over from left field to get that one and make a play on it. That'll be a fly out.
She got under it and she was falling away from it at the same time. Not enough power to get that thing moving anywhere. But that's going to be Govan. This time batting cleanup. She came into the game batting 3rd, took an inning break when Jensen Vienne hit for her, and now she's batting cleanup in the 4-hole. She takes the first pitch she sees at the cleanup spot for a strike. So maybe Glenn Moore, the head manager for the Baylor Bears, looking to give his offensive star a half day of rest, but Wildcats prevent that from happening in a 2-run game. 1-1 now is the count.
Low pitch there by Rote, and she's now pitched a considerable number of innings, as she's pitched 5 innings today. So really giving her a workout. Remember, she also had the inside the park home run, so she's been busy to say the least.
Swing and a foul tip there. That's going to be 1-2 count. One pitch away from 2 outs in the top half of the 6th inning. Rote a great game. Came in for the starter Nielsen. Was only allowed 1 earned run. Had back-to-back 1-2-3 innings against Baylor Bear, one of the best offenses in the nation. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That's going to be taken for ball 2. Bit low there with the off-speed.
And these are the situations where Rote needs to really be able to put away these batters for the Bears and to get some outs strung together.
Two-two. That's swung on. That's going to be punched, and that's going to find outfield grass. It's going to be a single for Govan in her first at-bat in the cleanup spot.
Next up for the Bears, number 15, Sydney.
Just take a look at this one. Great punch there on that ball, getting it right through the gap of between the shortstop and third baseman and getting it out to kind of midfield there on the left side, getting on base.
The third baseman now, Cindy Collazos, is up. She's got 2 singles to her name so far in this contest. She looks at the first pitch there for a strike. Rote now dealing with a runner on first, 1 out in the top of the 6th, as Collazos is going to have a word with the manager, Glenn Moore. Moore may be seeing something. Disappointed with her approach. Coaching her up out there.
As Collazos is down 0-1 in the count. Let's see if those words from head coach Glenn Moore are going to make any difference here moving forward, if she gets a hit or decides to bunt.
You can tell a talking to when you see it. Glenn Moore coaching her girl up. See if she gets something out of this at bat. 0-1, and she's going to punch that to the third baseman. Maybe a chance for a double play. There's 2, and there is 1. It's not going to be in time. Get the lead runner, though, at second base, and that's going to be 2 outs in the top half of the 6th inning. But Collazos was able to beat that out and make her way to first.
Good sprint there by Collazos, not giving up on the play as we take a look at that replay. And trying to make the double play as ACU, but just that's about the second time today we've seen that double play not fully happen, as Baylor back up to bat again with 2 outs.
It's Emily Hott. She swings the first thing she sees, she fouls it back. Emily Hott today, she's walked, she's struck out looking, and she's lined out.
Hott's kind of done it all today at bat, like you said, Cohen. And in this situation, just trying to get on base or put Collazos in a scoring position.
That pitch is rolled back. That's going to find its way to the backstop. So Collazos to the pass ball. Finds her way at second base.
Now Collazos in a scoring position, as for Baylor, that's Emily Hott. Better changes her approach now from the plate.
Looking to make it a 3-run game with the runner in scoring position. Hott. 1-1 count. The windup and the pitch. That's going to be looked at. Ball 2. Just high, says the blue.
Close call there, and we've seen a lot of those close calls today from the blue on both sides as to where the ball is and is it a strike, is it a ball. Good job by the blue today, keeping it close, keeping it consistent.
2-1. Swung on and missed. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th. 2-run game. 11 hits so far for the Baylor Bears. Compare that to the Wildcats' 5. You can tell it's the 3 errors, keeping a minute. There's a 2-2. That's going to be low, full count. Collazos is itching to get off second.
Full count now for Bubba Rote and Emily Hott. Good battle here. This is a crucial one to win for both sides.
3-2, here's the pitch. Swung on and punched foul.
And Hott stays alive against Rote. 2 outs. Score here would go a long way to put this one close to out of reach for the Wildcats, but nothing is impossible, as we've seen in this game.
Yep.
Early on.
Just a 2-run contest after going down 6-0 in the first inning. ACU was able to claw their way back. Still clawing their way back. 3-2, here's the delivery, and that's going to be low. They walk Hott. Her second walk of the game. There's runners on first and second now, 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
Tough battle there by Rote. That one just a little low, and that's just not the way you want that to end if you're Bubba Rote and this ACU squad.
Koyazos on second, Hot on first. A lot of speed on the base paths and a good hitter in the box. That's Anna Watson. She doubled her first time up, walked her second time up, and singled her third time up. And we're going to have a new pitcher in the game for the ACU Wildcats. Number 23 is going to take the mound for Lauren Sheik. A good outing from Bubba Rope, but she leaves 2 on. Sheik inherits 2 runners and 2 outs on the top of the 6th. New pitcher on the mound for the Wildcats. Her first pitch is going to be called a strike. That's Lauren Sheik. She comes into the game after Bubba Rote had a fairly impressive outing, but Sheik's going to inherit the runners on first and second. 2 outs in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, Rote with 5 innings pitched on the game. Really put in some work today as she's not even in the dugout yet. She's actually in the outfield.
Ball's going to be punch foul down the first baseline. Yeah, so McKinley Clark is going to come out of the game, number 18, who was playing outfield beforehand. She's back in the dugout. Bubba Route's going to take over her position in right field. Shows you how integral she is to the Wildcats' game plans. She's kept them in it so far. Sheik looking to continue her efforts. So far, doing a real good job. 0-2 is the count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low, ball 1. Looking to get Anna Watson out for the first time this game. Mentioned it earlier, but she's got a double, single, and a walk. 2 RBIs to boot. She's 1-2 here. Sheik delivers. And that is going to be called a ball.
Another one of those close calls by the Blue today. And it's been tight. It's been a tight game called here from that strike zone, but
evens things up at 2. Signals in. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's going to be swung on and punched into right center field. Bubba Bout is going to almost have a read on it, but not enough. That's going to be a 3-run shot for Anna Watson.
Wow, really big play there by Anna Watson. You mentioned it. She hasn't been out today. That's a huge and timely home run to put her Baylor Bears up 5 now on ACU Wildcats. What a clutch play there by Anna Watson.
It's a huge call there in the end too. That one pitch that was kind of on the zone maybe would have striked her out. But that's going to be a 3 spot in the top of the 6th. Thanks to the bat of Anna Watson. You take a look at the replay there. That got out in a jiffy. Hit the net there, bounce back onto the field. And that's going to be 11 runs now in the game for the Baylor Bears on 12 hits.
And that's just very tough position for the Wildcats as they let up 3 runs there.
That ball's going to be punched, and that's going to be a single. Make its way to the right fielder, Rote, and yet another Baylor Bear is on base. So again, you're going to come back, and as most coaches do whenever you analyze and dissect these games, Bubba Route looked like she was cruising for a bruising. She was coasting along fairly well. She allowed runner on first and second, but up until this point, she looked as good as anybody out there on the mound against these Baylor Bears. She comes out and she gives up a home run. Of course, hindsight's 20/20. 2 of those runs on that home run is going to be on Route as she allowed the runners on first and second. Only one of those is going to be on Sheik, all of which will be earned. 2 outs still in the top of the 6th. The catcher LaValle up to bat for the Baylor Bears. Sheik delivers. That's going to be a strike. Check that ball inside. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. And wouldn't you know it, it's blowing a little towards right field. But even without the wind, that was a good enough shot that it would have been gone. Sheik delivers on the 1-0. That's a low, ball 2. Runner on first now in what has quickly become a 5-run game.
Yeah, and just like that, the momentum swung, and Baylor goes up 5 runs, and credit them to staying in it and staying consistent.
2-0, here's the pitch. It's going to be called a strike. Just got the outside edge of the strike zone there. It's going to be 13 hits on the day for the Baylor Bears. They've hit their way around this Abilene's pitching squad. As there's going to be a play made on second, but the throw is going to be offline. Took the second baseman off the bag, Gaspar rather, the shortstop off the bag.
So we take a look at that replay. Great play there, and just missed the tag as number 2 for Baylor. That is pinch runner. Excuse me, pinch runner number 2, Taylor Strain, sliding into second base.
LaValle offers it that one, but third base ump says she does not go around, and the count runs full. Runner in scoring position now for Sheik. Much different complexion to this game. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a walk. Runners on first and second now for Baylor. So they've come into this game and they've feasted off the new pitcher for the Wildcats. Home run, single, and a walk. Sheik's yet to record an out.
And that just goes to show how good of a job Rout was doing off the mound for the Wildcats, not letting up anything too crazy and really pitching the game of her life here today.
9-hole hitter now for the Baylor Bears, Presley Pylon. Yet to record a hit in this contest. Grounded into a fielder's choice, popped out and grounded out. First pitch there is a strike. 0-1 is the count. Sheik the lefty, looking to get out of this one. Top of the 6th. Runners on first and second. Pylon swings at that one. The count runs 0-2.
Great ball there. Little breaking ball thrown at Presley Pylon, and she got baited on that one for a strike.
Looking to get out of the inning. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, and that's going to be punched, and that's going to be a hit. Making its way to the center fielder. A close play at home will not occur, and Baylor adds on. 4 runs now on the top of the 6th as the single by Pylon, her first hit of the game, brings a runner on second round to score.
And great job by Pylon. First hit of the game coming at a crucial moment, sending her girls in like a bunch of wild men there running into home, as that will send the pinch hitter to home plate for the RBI.
So 4 spot in the top of the 6th for the Baylor Bears. This was a 2-run game at one point, believe it or not. It was a very close contest. But a 3-run home run and an RBI single tend to change things. So there's going to be a defensive change. And it's going to be the pitcher. Lauren Sheik's going to be out of the game. New pitcher on the mound for the Wildcats. We're going to see if they can get out of the top of the 6th here in Abilene, Texas. .29 on the bump for the ACU Wildcats. It's Elizabeth Schaefer, the freshman, coming into today. She has an 11.45 ERA, only 6 appearances and 3.2 innings pitched on the season. Just looking to get out of the top of the 6th here with 2 outs. Her first pitch is a strike. She's working against the number 1 hitter for the Baylor Bears, Mackenzie Wilson, center fielder. She's had a good enough game. She got on first. Her first time up. Hasn't seen the bases since.
Mackenzie Wilson has had a pretty solid game here for the Bears today.
0-1, here's the pitch. She swings at that one, and she's going to get on first again. A runner's going to come home from third, and there's going to be runners on first and second now. The leadoff hitter delivers. Wilson, the center fielder, gets on base with a single into left field.
Here's Mackenzie Wilson getting that one in that gap again between the shortstop and third baseman out to left field, and that'll advance the runners. And as she bats one of her gals home, as we have what seems to be some action in the bullpen for ACU.
Things really got away from the Wildcats here in the top of the 6th. It's now a 7-run game.
On the ball.
Throw to second. It's going to get to the second baseman, Lista. Keeps all the runners where they are, first and second still. Still 2 outs. Bubba Rout started this inning. Let runners on first and second with a walk and a single. Came out, 3-run home run and an RBI single later. And that's going to be punched into right field, and that's going to be just barely fair. The runner rounding from second is going to come home. The runner from first is going to come home. Throw home is not going to be in time. And just like that, it is 6-15 Baylor Bear favor as the runner's on second with 2 outs.
Really close hit there as we take a look at that replay. Just stayed in play as that one bats in some Baylor Bears to make it a 15-6 game. What a crucial inning this has been.
That was Amber Tovin, the shortstop. If you remember her first time up, she had a 2-run home run. So she follows that up with another great game and another great at-bat, rather, with a 2-run RBI. And now the ever-potent threat of Shaylon Govan is back up to bat. Still just 2 outs. An out has yet to be recorded on the top of the 6th inning. There's going to be a wild pitch or pass ball. Depends on how you rule it. And that's going to move the runner from second to third. There's yet to been a single out recorded in the... It's 2 outs, but 2 pitchers have yet to record a single out. This led to a 7 spot in the top of the 6th for Baylor. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. 2-1 now is the count.
Good controlled pitch by the freshman Schaefer there. Getting it in the, finding the strike zone, a little on the outside of the strike zone, and maybe getting some momentum to get her out of this inning.
Tovan looking to put the figurative nail in the coffin, but she swings at that one there and swings right through it. A look of shock as she laughs back to her dugout there. She's surprised she came up empty. 2-2 now is the count.
Govan wanted all of that one, and you could tell by her reaction when she missed as she sets up the bunt here.
Swings and just barely gets a piece of it, stays alive. 2-2, we'll do it again. Runner in scoring position. Courtesy of a wild pitch. Here's a 2-2. That's going to be low, full count. Schaefer just trying to get out of the inning, something Sheik failed to do.
And Schaefer, for being a freshman, has been put in a very interesting position here in this one. 2 outs, has let up 8 runs in the top of this 6th inning. So just damage control.
And that's going to be golfed into left field, but playable for Olivia Taylor. And the inning that never ends has ended for the Wildcats, but not until 7 runs come home for the Baylor Bears. And due to such a potent scoring threat, I believe that's going to end the game. Mercy rule is going to be in effect if it's past the 5th inning, unless I'm mistaken. It's 15-6 is the score, and both teams are out of the dugout. But maybe I jumped the gun. It looks like I did. So just the end of the bottom of the 6th inning. Take a look at the replay that ended the top of the 6th inning.
Govan hits that one off the ground on that, and pretty easy fielding job there by ACU to get that. But yeah, just the inning that really where everything that could go wrong for ACU did after they took out Bubba Rote, who's had a very impressive game in this one.
Back on the mound for the Baylor Bears is Casey West. She's looking to close things out here as this game has cascaded out of control for the ACU Wildcats. It is now a 9-run deficit for the home team. 16 hits for the Baylor Bears opposed to the Abilene Christian 5 and a Sammy Sheelander. Few changes defensively for the Baylor Bears. Got a new third baseman in, the 00, Emery McDonough. Second year, she's a sophomore out of Waco, Texas, hometown girl. But still Casey West on the mound for the Bears.
Casey West has had a very up and down showing today, but nonetheless, her team has stepped up around her as they have a 9-run lead. Sheelander up to bat for the Wildcats. That's number 34.
And a new second baseman in as well. That's Shannon Vivoda. Sophomore, this is her first year. She's out of Pueblo, Colorado. That's going to move Pylon over to shortstop. She's going to remain in the game. Sammy Sheelander, 1-0's the count. Pitches low, 2-0. So the big story coming into the 6th inning was the errors by Baylor. Errors had culminated and then allowed it, this was a 2-run game at one point, allowed the Wildcats to come within striking distance of the number 18 Baylor Bears, but an onslaught in the top of the 6th ensured that that most likely wouldn't come to fruition.
And Cohen, this is the difference between good teams and great teams. Good teams get tired, and sometimes they can't always perform at their highest level, but in terms of Baylor being a great team, they always perform at the highest level, and they simply do not get tired, and they've shown that here today.
3-0's the count. And that's going to be high and away. Sammy Sheelander draws a walk on 4 pitches. Bubba Rote now up to the bat. She represents the only 2 earned runs for the Wildcats. The other 4 came by virtue of the error. She had that inside the park home run in the 1st inning.
Yeah, Bubba Rote has had a very solid showing here today as we have a stoppage in play.
And you're going to come back, and when you dissect this game, may have been the smart decision by Fowler to keep Bubba Rote in. Obviously, she had allowed 1 runner on first, a runner on second. But she'd worked into a 2-out situation. She was almost out of it. Again, things got out of control when she got out of the game. There's going to be a substitution on the field. Sammy Sheelander is walking to the dugout as number 9 takes her place on first base. That's Isabel Martinez, this sophomore out of Dale, Texas, Cedar Creek High School product. Pitch there is a strike.
Solid strike there by Casey West, and now a tie count, 1-1 for Rote.
Here's the pitch. Close but a ball. 2-1 now is the count. No outs in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on first. 9-run game. It's 15-6.
And Rote's done about everything that she can in this one.
2-1. She's going to foul that off. Punches it to the dugout.
And how often do you see the stat line of in the park home run and 5 innings pitched in a softball game? Not often, as we take another look at that. We took another look at that pitch from West.
She's going to put that one almost in play. Nope, it's a foul ball. Rote, pitching-wise, it's going to finish the day, I believe, with 3 earned runs. Had the one earned run that she gave up coming into the game. And then she left those 2 runners on base that would eventually come around home on the 3-run shot. Here's the pitch, 2-2. She puts that into play. That's going to be shot, maybe chance for a double play. Nope, just gets the lead runner at second. So 1 out for the Baylor Bears in the bottom of the 6th. But Rote takes the runner's place on first. Avery Mylock's going to come up to the batter's box now. She struck out on 3 pitches her last time up.
Solid hit there by Rote, getting out to first, but not allowing the double play, which is good. Solid job as they Rote now threatening out second from first.
That ball's low. 1-0 is the count. Looking to salvage something are the Wildcats after the big top of the 6th from Baylor. Here's 1-0. They shoot that to the third baseman, but that's going to be an error. It's going to get right by her after hitting her literally on the glove. Again, that's 0-0, the substitution coming into the game. Emery McDonough, she's a sophomore. She came in for number 15, who had 2 errors of her own.
And another infield error. That's something Baylor, despite playing a very clean game overall, being up 9 runs, has struggled with in this game is infield errors from that third base and shortstop spot.
Hoffman up to bat now. Just 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. That ball's low. Count evens itself at 1. Runners on first and second. That pitch is going to be hit into left field, but a great play is going to be made by the left fielder. Able to range over. It would have been in play had it dropped, but it didn't. Baylor keeps things tidy in the outfield. That's 2 outs.
Take a look at that replay. Great sprint out there. Getting into the ball. Concentrating and catching it. Handing ACU their second out of the bottom of the 6th inning. As Miranda Lista is now at the bat.
First pitch is outside, ball 1. Still runners on first and second. West looking to get out of it now. She's come in and had a fairly good start, as that pitch is going to be skied into right field, playable for the right fielder and put away. So after allowing 2 Wildcats on base, nothing comes of it, and the inning is going to end, as is the game. That is going to be the final. Mercy rule is going to be in effect after 9 runs were put up, thanks to the 7 spot in the top of the 6th inning by the Baylor Bears. And that's going to be your final from Abilene, Texas, without playing a 7th inning. It's 15-6. Baylor Bears come out on top despite 3 errors that allowed 4 Wildcat runs. They're going to walk the field here, and it was close there for a second. Again, it was a 2-run game going into the 6th inning. Looking for an upset were the Wildcats, but they just couldn't put it away. Baylor Bears offense outscored ACU, and that's going to be the final. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This has been a ACU TV production. ESPN Plus and ESPN Networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. And until next time, Cohen Carpenter, Matthew Daly-Cruz, the whole crew, saying so long and take care, and goodbye from Abilene, Texas.